Welcome to lesson 25, the last in our series of laws of Muktzah. In this lesson, I'd like to give a brief summary and review of some of the complex laws of Muktzah that we've discussed and introduce one or two more leniencies that there are regarding Muktzah. What is the definition of Muktzah? Muktzah, those things that are set aside, deemed by the rabbis that we should not be handling on Shabbos. To protect the sanctity and the integrity of Shabbos, Rabbi said that we should limit what we have in our hands, focus on other things on Shabbos. For example, there is the category of a kli shemalachto le'isser, something whose primary function is prohibited on Shabbos. The example we had was a hammer. A hammer is primarily used for construction. Not supposed to handle a hammer on Shabbos. Primary function is something that is prohibited on Shabbos. If you have a hammer on the table and you want to eat at that table, you want to sit there, and it's in your way, if you need its place, you're allowed to pick up the hammer with your hands and put it away. You need to use the hammer for something that's permissible use. To crack open a coconut, the hammer can be handled and used to crack open the coconut on Shabbos. A common example of a kli shemalachto le'isser is a pot. That deserves a little bit of discussion. A pot is used primarily for cooking, which is prohibited on Shabbos. But after you cook something in the pot, often you store the food in the pot. And as a storage container, it should not be muktza. So a pot that has food in it is not muktza. But if you are serving soup on Friday night, you take the pot off the blech, take all of the soup out and serve it, and there's nothing left. You have on your counter an empty pot, a kli shemalachto le'isser, something whose primary function is prohibited. Are you allowed to put the pot away in the corner of the kitchen someplace or wherever you want to leave it on Shabbos? Yes. If you need the counter space on Shabbos during the day to serve from, you need the counter space, so it's something that's muktzah, it's in a place that you need its place, you're allowed to handle it on Shabbos. We had another category of muktzah, muktza machmas chesaron kis. The example was a laptop, something that's delicate, expensive. You use it only for one thing and you don't use it for anything else. That is a more severe level of muktzah, and that you're not even allowed to handle if you need its place. If it's in a place that you need, you're not allowed to handle it. We discussed there's a leniency of, most opinion holds of tiltul beguf. You're allowed to move something with your elbow or not with your hands, not handling it. Kicking it is tiltul begufa, that would be mutter. Or we had tiltul minatzad, indirect moving of muktzah can be permissible. Also, if you need to clear the space away, you could use and we'll see an example of tiltul minatzad in a moment. Another category of muktzah, which is the one that I'd like to talk about the rest of the lesson, is something that's muktzah machmas gufay, something that is inherently muktzah because it serves no function at all. We spoke about a broken cell phone. Broken cell phone is going to go to the garbage or to the recycle bin, so has no use, no function. It's muktzah. Muktzah, no heter to be metaltal that. Again, move it with your elbow, that's okay. Tiltul minatzad would be okay. Some common examples of something that is muktzah machmas gufay, which is a severe level of muktzah that we come into contact with every Shabbos. Finish eating your meal on Shabbos, you look at the table and you think, let's see, let me analyze what we have over here. I have things that are edible. Obviously, the leftover pieces of cake are not muktzah. The grapes, which are edible, are not muktza. I could pick those up and take them to the kitchen without thinking twice. But what about these? So I'm really going to throw them in the garbage. I don't plan on using them for anything. But I could use them for something. I could take an empty soda bottle and I could take an empty soda bottle and fill it with water and use it as a water bottle if I wanted to. So even though I plan on throwing it in the garbage, it doesn't become muktzah. So I don't have to think twice, I can pick it up. But what about the rest of the things on the table? There's half-eaten shomlet, which is going to the garbage, no one's going to touch it anymore. There are chicken bones that So whoever had the chicken even ate the marrow off the bone, so there's nothing edible there. The kiwi peels, whatever, all these things, these are inherently muktza. So this tablecloth is a disposable tablecloth. Just wrap it up and throw everything away. It's total minatzad. I'm not handling the muktza with my hands. That'll be okay. But if you have a cloth tablecloth that you're not going to wrap up and throw away, so we said you could do total minatzad. You could shovel the muktza into a garbage pail with something else. But there's another leniency when it comes to muktza, and that's a leniency called graf shel ready, something that's repulsive, that you find disgusting. In order to protect the integrity, kavod habrius, the kavod habrius, to protect a person's dignity, you're allowed to handle those things on Shabbos. So, as an example, before we come to the table, you come down out of your bedroom on Shabbos and you see on the kitchen floor a dead mouse. Now, a dead mouse doesn't look like this. A dead mouse looks pretty repulsive. You come down in the middle of the kitchen floor, there's a dead mouse. So your hysterics are all finished. You're finished with that. Now, what am I supposed to do with it? It's definitely inherently muktza. There's nothing you could use a dead mouse for. Do I have to leave it there the whole Shabbos? I have to leave it the whole Shabbos. I'm not going into the kitchen the whole Shabbos. Whatever if I do, I'm going to have to. I find it very repugnant. I find it disgusting. You're allowed to pick up the dead mouse and throw it away. You could do that if you'd like to. Preferable, though, is tiltul minatzad. If it's on the floor, you could take a broom and shovel it in a dustpan and throw it away. That would be better. This way, you're doing tiltul minatzad. But if there's something that's disgusting, you're even allowed to pick it up and with your hands and throw it away. If this dead mouse wasn't in your kitchen, the dead mouse was in your laundry room, dead mouse was in a room that you're not really going on Shabbos, leave it there till after Shabbos. Because it's not in a place that's affecting you. There's no kavod habrius issue. Don't go into the laundry room and it won't bother you. Take care of it after Shabbos because it's inherently muktza. If it's in a place where you spend time on Shabbos, it's in your living room or your dining room, then you're allowed to. That's the heter of repulsive and disgusting muktza. You're allowed to handle on Shabbos. Come back to the table. The table, these bones in 2 hours from now might be emitting an odor, might start smelling. If you have this table and you don't clear off the table and guests come to your house and they look at your dining room and they say, your dining room table looks so disgusting, it's going to be embarrassing. Because of kavod habrius, you'd be allowed to clear off the table. So even if you don't have any way of doing tiltul minatzad, the only way is picking it up with your hands. That would be something that would be 100% okay. Similarly, another common example of something that is a graf shel re'eh, you have infants in the house and you're changing diapers. A soiled diaper is definitely muktza. It's a severe muktza. It's muktza machmas gufay. This serves no function at all. So what is the choice? Change the baby, change the diaper, and leave the soiled diaper there because it's muktza. I can't handle it. I gotta leave it there. No, if you leave it in the room where people spend time on Shabbos, it's gonna smell. It's gonna be disgusting. They'll find it revolting. You're allowed to take the diaper, soiled diaper, after you change it, and throw it away. You have a garbage pail, a diaper pail, in the bedroom that you're sleeping in. Friday night, throw the diapers in. Shabbos morning, you throw the diapers in. The diaper pail, the garbage pail is full. You want to take a nap on Shabbos afternoon. You go into the room, and you know that in a couple of hours, it's going to start smelling up the room. It looks pretty disgusting to sleep in a room that has full of dirty diapers. So you want to take the bag out and take it out to the garbage. It's not a problem. It's okay. Even though it's inherently muktza, because it's in a place where it will disturb your Shabbos, you find it revolting, it's considered a graf shel re'eh, you're allowed to pick it up, throw it out, and put it in a new bag, and something that is disgusting, revolting, one is allowed to handle on Shabbos. Graf shel re'eh, whether it's clearing off the table because it's going to cause you embarrassment if you don't, if it's something that's in the kitchen that might smell. If you don't clear it away off on Shabbos, the diapers, you're allowed to throw them away on Shabbos. One last thing before we conclude is something that could be dangerous. You're sitting at your table on Shabbos and a wine glass falls over and breaks. So we're not doing this on the set, but we have a broken glass on the table. So if it dropped on the floor and it's on the floor, it's okay. You have broken shards of glass, not used for anything. You're inherently muktza, but if you leave them on the floor, people are walking and they might not be wearing their shoes. Infants might be crawling, and they could be crawling on broken glass. It could be dangerous. You're allowed to pick up muktza that's dangerous and throw it away. If it's on the floor, preferred method would be doing tiltul menatzat, sweep it up. But if some of the glass gets in a place where you can't reach with the broom, something like that, and they're big pieces, you have to pick them up, you can even pick them up. It's muktza, but you're allowed to handle it in order to prevent someone from getting hurt. They shouldn't get cut. On the table, you can't sweep it up on the table. So if you have broken glass on the table, so you're allowed to pick up the big pieces with your hands and throw them in the garbage, that's okay. Is this muktza? Of course it's muktza. Does this serve any function? No. But it could be dangerous. Someone could get cut, someone could get hurt. So in order to prevent someone from getting hurt, something could be hazardous, it could be muktza, but you're allowed to pick it up with your hands. You're allowed to sweep it, whatever is necessary to do, as far as muktza is concerned, to take it to the garbage, to clear off the area to prevent people from getting hurt. So again, when we've added it to this lesson, that there are two different major leniencies. One is graf shalrei, muktza that you find repulsive, that could really cause you embarrassment or disturb your enjoyment of Shabbos. You're allowed to remove from the place where it is disturbing you. And something that could be hazardous, that could cause injury to someone, because someone could get cut with, also you're allowed to handle those and carry on Shabbos. Thank you very much for listening to the series on Muktzah.